So you're a UX designer and you're looking at the job market right now thinking, wow, it is crowded out there. If you're wondering how you're going to stand out, you are in exactly the right place. Because today we're going to talk about why specializing isn't just some nice to have, it's quickly becoming the only way to survive and really thrive. And that brings us to the big question, right? Do you stay a generalist, a jack of all trades who can jump on any project, or do you go deep and become the go-to expert in one specific niche? Stick with me, and by the end of this, you'll have a much clearer idea of which path is the right one for you.
All right, here's the plan. First, we're going to dig into the generalist dilemma and see why we even need to have this conversation. Then, we'll look at a huge choice. Are you aiming for stability, or are you chasing growth? After that, we'll do a deep dive into two industry giants, fintech and healthcare. And finally, I'll give you an actual playbook to help you niche down.
Okay, let's kick things off with the why. What is going on out there in the UX world that's making specialization such a hot topic all of a sudden? Well, here's the honest truth. The entry-level market is completely saturated. There are so many grads coming out of boot camps and universities, and frankly, a lot of their portfolios look, well, the same. So you have to ask yourself, if your portfolio looks like 100 others, why would a hiring manager choose you? Specialization is your answer. It's your way to signal that you're not just another junior designer.
So when you decide to specialize, you hit this massive fork in the road. You're not just picking an industry that sounds cool. No, you're choosing the fundamental driver for your entire career. Are you playing the long game for stability, or are you trying to ride a wave of massive growth?
And here are the two big paths we're seeing. On one side, you've got the fortress of stability. Industries like healthcare. I mean, people will always need healthcare, right? It's about as recession-proof as it gets. Then, on the other side, you have the rocket ship that is fintech. This is the high-growth, high-risk, and often high-reward world. And they're paying top dollar for designers who can keep up.
So let's really get into it. What does it actually take to make it in these fields? What are the hiring managers in fintech and healthcare really looking for when they scan your resume?
In fintech, things are moving so fast. We're seeing this huge demand pop up in new markets, not just the major tech hubs. But here's the key. Companies want hybrid designers. They don't just want you to make pretty screens. They want you to understand the nitty-gritty financial regulations, stuff like KYC, that's Know Your Customer, or AML, which is anti-money laundering. Or they want designers who can actually code their own prototypes.
So what does your fintech portfolio need to show? First, trust. Let's be real. Money is stressful for people. You need to show how you use things like soothing animations or super clear language to reduce that anxiety. Second, show you get gamification. How can you turn saving money from a chore into a fun, engaging habit? And you absolutely have to show you can tackle complex flows, especially that critical user onboarding process.
Now let's jump over to healthcare. The problems here are totally different. One of the biggest headaches is something called interoperability, basically getting different hospital systems and patient records to talk to each other. It's a huge mess, and they desperately need designers to help fix it. Plus, you have the nonstop growth of telemedicine and AI tools for diagnostics, creating a huge demand for designers in that space.
And your healthcare portfolio? The stakes are way, way higher here. First off, accessibility isn't optional. It's a legal requirement. You have to prove you can design for everyone. Second, you got to show you can handle data density. Can you design a dashboard packed with patient information that a stressed-out doctor can understand at a glance? And finally, you have to prove you understand the ethics. How will you protect patient privacy? How do you design to prevent disastrous errors? These are the questions that get you the job.
This breakdown really says it all, doesn't it? In fintech, your core skill is basically trust engineering. In healthcare, it's about optimizing a clinical workflow. The whole vibe is different. Fintech is slick and gamified, while healthcare has to be calm and accessible. You even need to learn a whole new language. In fintech, you're talking KYC and AML. In healthcare, it's EHR and HIPAA. And what you're measured on couldn't be more different. User retention versus patient outcomes.
Okay, so you get the picture. But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you make the pivot from generalist to in-demand specialist? Well, let's build your playbook.
So the goal here is to become what's known as a T-shaped expert. Think about the letter T. That horizontal bar at the top, that's all your broad, general UX skills. Research, wireframing, the basics. But the vertical stem, that's your deep, powerful knowledge in one specific area. That's what makes you so valuable.
Here are 4 things you can do, like right now. 1. Audit your own local market. Where are the jobs in your city? Is it a fintech hub? A health tech center?
Find out. 2. Build projects with real context. Seriously, stop with the generic redesigns of popular apps. Instead, design a KYC flow that follows actual regulations. 3. Build real working prototypes. Static screens just don't cut it anymore. And 4. Network smart. Stop going to every general UX meetup. Find the design and healthcare Slack group or the fintech designers community. Go where the experts are.
When you strip it all away, the choice is pretty clear. If your main goal is stability, if you want that mission-driven work, healthcare is an incredible path. Your job will be to make complex systems safe and usable. But if you're driven by growth, if you want that higher salary and to be on the cutting edge, then fintech is calling your name. Your job is to build trust and create addictive financial products.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Stop asking yourself which industry is cool. The real question, the one that will actually define your career from here on out, is this: which expensive, difficult, and valuable problem am I going to be the one to solve?